Hello, welcome to Line War. I'm John Joe, and today we've got a free-for-all match where we have Cryptosporidium in the bottom section. I've seen you comment on my videos a couple of times. Thank you very much. We have Metal PHP up here, over on this island. Over here we've got Birdie on this section here, going into Navy to start with, and a bit of Eco. And then Refoh. We're going to call him Refoh. Over on this section, getting a bit of the unfortunate side of the picking phase. As you can see, there's cities and towns. And this section got blacklisted, which is a place they wanted. And they did have this island and this island to choose from, which might have actually been a better option. But I think they just wanted to expand south. As you can see, they're getting that island straight away so that they can have their own city. So that might pay off for them, as this is a trade route just here. From this place to this place, that's a good lot of eco. And then naturally to expand to this island, which unfortunately Red has taken. So he's going to have a bit of a battle for himself, because Red's going to want to go there too. The minute, there's not too much going on as players just establish themselves. So over here we have Birdie, who is going, again, just a bit more eco. And over here, I didn't notice that, there's a trade route just here as well. So Birdie has a trade route pretty much ready to go once they've got the construction done. And there's another one here, which is going to... There's a lot of eco for Birdie on this island here, because there's another place here which connects across on that island. So I think Birdie's got a lot of options there for eco. But over here we've got Metal, who's got a lot of energy potential. There's two on this island here, two in the waters, and one down here, another one there. This one's a bit harder to control, as it's kind of like right in the middle of the map. For Crypto though, they've got a fair bit of eco, and they're trying to expand. As you can see, they're using commandos to expand, which usually on this map is just going to be transport boats, but they want to get a navy out pretty quick, so they're going to focus on expanse by commandos, which isn't a bad idea. Unfortunately for him though, Birdie is already on this island. And we have Metal expanding over to this section. We're going to just take a look at Orange over here, who is getting power plants set up pretty quick, because they don't really have any other options. Like literally none, not even in the ocean. The closest energy well they have already has an energy well built on it. But they're going heavy energy use units, which is pretty much all they can do, because they need to go across the waters, so they need air and ocean units, which all require quite a lot of energy. So the center island is going to be contested. We have 3 players going for it. So there's Metal going right in the middle, Birdie at the top part of the map, island, and Crypto with commandos in the bottom section of the island, capturing territories as they go. Kind of missed this one though, is they're joining onto this line here a bit late in the line and just missing that first territory. You never know, these commandos might be able to take out these units after they've kind of had a fight with themselves. I'm going to turn on commands for all so we can see what they're doing, as a recent comment asked me. So I'll probably be doing that for a while unless asked otherwise, and then I'll probably just have it as a vote or just see what I want to do occasionally. We've got some aircraft supports coming in, but those blue units did manage to outnumber the opponent and swarm around them, only getting 2 heavily damaged units there, rather than losing 4, 1 for 1. But the commandos are now under pressure. We're getting bombers coming in for Crypto to try and save these commandos, and a barracks is being set up here, so he wants to control this island. Willing to commit to controlling it. Other players, on the other hand, are still just sort of expanding. We do have another expansion coming in over here from Birdie against Metal. And Metal just ran out of energy. As you can see, the aircraft are smoking. So they're going to have to land now. They're not going to be able to try and support this area. The commandos are pushing through. The infantry do curve around the commandos, so they're getting some high damage there. And those commandos are going to end up going down to this, I think. There's just too many infantry there for him. But he does have this barracks to follow up with. And Crypto's also out of energy, as we can hear from the beeping, because I'm looking through his screen. Metal's out of energy. Refoh has a lot of energy storage, but just not a lot of energy production. So he's trying to build up the storage and using it when he can, making sure that he's never running out of that space. Whereas Birdie doesn't have too much storage, but has enough to get him by for now. Unfortunately, the invasion over here failed, but he does have this island here as well now. And the trade routes are set up. Look at that thick line there. I haven't seen the lines merge so well that they form a very bright line. It's kind of distracting. Can hear gunfire, so the aircraft are coming in trying to stop Red from having this island. Must have came in through the bottom here. Yeah, you can see the boat here, which Refoh have actually managed to find and take out. But these are destroyers, and it looks like Crypto has gone for submarines, which the destroyers are pretty much super effective against. We do seem to have a large navy coming in down here. Both of these players were struggling with energy before. And we can see that Metal is using a blue line now. He switched it from orange because they were trying to capture the land. So the blue line will help maintain their formation. And as they come into that, they are now being pushed inwards into a central point to try and help curve around the enemy, getting that extra damage in. But the red team do seem to have much more DPS in this area. There's a few more cruisers and destroyers at the time. Another cruiser coming in though, so it's going to be 3 versus 2 cruisers. And Red are trying to move as well, which is going to be a downside as he's out of energy, which is going to increase that damage that they're taking in, which is pretty much what won that fight for blue, I think, at first. And the aircraft support. If, unfortunately, Crypto didn't run out of the energy, he might have been able to win that engagement. Up here, we're still fighting for this middle island, as this section had been left to its own devices. If Metal had tried to push straight down and capture it all, he might have been able to stop this from happening. He did have it at a weak point when he took out those commandos, but Yellow's coming in to have a little investigation, wondering what's going on there, hoping to get this energy well, potentially. And the light blue player has now found Yellow. He's going for land-based attacks here, whilst distracting with a navy force over here, which is actually quite a dominant force there for Yellow. He's not going to be able to do much about this right now. He's trying his best to defend. He's bringing back his destroyers from over here, but as they're on flag commands, they're going to try and take over this land instead of coming back. So now these ships are going to try and circle the island over there. Red have managed to push blue back into this area of the ocean. I can hear some attacks going on. We've got a striker over here trying to target this navy well. And it looks like it won't go down because the striker's getting destroyed by these SAM units. But it did take a lot of damage, so it might have taken Crypto a little while to respond to that. Or it was just luckily getting out of range at times. Birdie is trying to push through on this section, trying to take out these units over here. And to be fair, he managed to take them out pretty easily with mostly missile ships. But now, because this island's quite thin, these cruisers over here have pretty much free range over the entirety of this island. If they are not stopped, Yellow will quite possibly be the first one out of this map. His main advantage was to get this set up and going. And he's already lost his main location to the Blue's land invasion. And is now under heavy pressure from the navy of Blue, which are potentially going to be reinforced again. And Birdie has found this section of the island too, which isn't too much of a threat, so I wouldn't worry about it too much, but he can't see everything, so doesn't know exactly what's there. These cruisers could take on a lot of this ground-based structures. The infantry have found the airfield, so it might be wise to try and send these units round to attack this airfield, as that is the main threat. I think instead he's worried about the eco of this player, and he's going to focus on capturing the territory and taking over anything they spot. As you can see, he's put that right next to the docks, which he doesn't know is or isn't there. So he's probably going to be trying to target that soon. His other navy came in and took out the airfield on this little island, and I don't want to miss out what's going on elsewhere. So Crypto's under pressure by submarines by, I think this is Metal that came in with a couple of submarines. Luckily there's Some of those are his own. Unless I missed what unit that actually was. But Crypto's also moving his units in. Instead of going for the energy, going for the sub-pen. And they've got a strike plan for commandos over here. So I think... Yeah, there we go. We've got a commando jet coming in. The aircraft distracting the SAM. Not quite enough, though, to let it drop those units in. So it does go down at just the last minute. But the Navy units look like they're going to do the job for the commandos anyway. And are going to have a bit of time to be able to defend against this army as well. But the air units are going to come in and try and sweep this up. And Crypto has lost those units, but did take out some of the production, giving him a bit better control over the ocean. Those submarines are being sent off to Birdie. I think they're just having a look around, but they're going to take Birdie by surprise there. As Birdie is still attacking Refoh down here, taking out the energy, which pretty much is going to leave him dead in the water, quite literally. There is not much he can do now to defend, apart from wait for this to build something, but he's got no energy really to do anything about this. I mean, he's got some stored up, 22, it's not much, but it's enough to run one unit. The submarines have reached this location now, they're going for the energy well. And Birdie hasn't, well, he's just about to respond maybe. He's got quite a few units here, so it won't take him long to take out these submarines. But he may just lose that energy well, he has. He's got quite a few to rely on anyway. As you can see up here, he's got 90 storage, which means 3 energy wells in total. Or power plants it could be, I'm not sure. I might be being blind, I can't see them. Over in this section, Crypto's got his navy quite spread out, and Metal is sending his navy in quite a formation. And if they keep catching his units out in singles here, they're going to be able to take a few wins on this. He is trying to regroup his units, but I don't even think grouped up now that they're going to be able to take on this attack. And we do have some air support coming in for blue, so he's going to try and take them out from some air. Birdie did manage to keep those submarines away. He obviously lost this energy well, but has rebuilt it. And took a lot of damage on both of these navy yards. If they did focus their damage on one of these structures, they might have actually taken one out. I didn't even see this get built. Red's got a rocket here, going for Birdie, which has a ton of units there, but there's too many SAM and they take out the rocket before it can fire. Well, before it can hit the ground, it did fire. But that's a bit of a bold move. I mean, your main enemy is over here right now. Birdie is distracted, attacking this guy over here, so it is wise to try and stop him from building that army up. But at the same time, you have just made yourself another enemy. And as you can see, there's a response coming in. They do not want this rocket to survive. A helicopter does go down as it sinks into the ground there. And there's quite a few infantry protecting this, so it's going to be a bit difficult for him to take it on. But I don't think it's going to be too hard as soon as he gets a bit of an established presence on this island. He's going to get his navy in, start firing in from the coastline. And over here, Refoh is just trying to rebuild. It looks like they managed to keep the island to themselves, but just barely. This is literally all they have left, and they're still being attacked from the ocean. They've noticed a lack of destroyers in this section, so the submarine they've got here, well, there's 3, taking out the missile ships there. There's the sub-pen there. But they've got a bigger navy to worry about now, and they're going straight for that sub-pen. And as much as Birdie really wants to stop this rocket, there isn't much he can do in time. There's enough units to defend here, at least for the time it takes to build this rocket. It's nearly done. Even with the ships of support overpowering anything at the coast, it is really making it difficult for Birdie to take out that rocket before it's built. He's even trying to bring round his units this side so his cruisers get in range. but it does fire up again. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stop it in time, but is this one going to hit? It is not. He's brought some sand around this side just to make sure it doesn't hit the ground. And unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to fire that again. Crypto invested over 1,000 in both of those rockets, at least 1,500 as well if you include the launch pad itself, which is now under fire from these cruisers. But over here, it looks like Crypto's going for... yeah, Crypto's going to lose these Navy yards if he doesn't deal with this response here from Metal. Over in the water here, we've got some more Navy coming in from Birdie. Pretty much to focus down this area, but Crypto's focused his energy efforts on trying to defend it. He's got a lot of energy, to be fair, so he should be fine using his Navy over here and the air units against Birdie, but Birdie's growing quite exponentially at this point. He hasn't quite taken out Refoh yet, but Crypto looks like he's trying to have a look around over this side as well, as Birdie's units come in through this section, going for the energy well in the long run. So Crypto's under attack by pretty much everyone that can attack at this point. And Birdie's found the other side of Refoh's island and is going to try and do any damage that they can. There's a town here which is going to be a bit unfortunate for Yellow to lose at this point in the game. They've been pretty much behind throughout this entire game, from the picking phase to the attacks, which were unfortunate. And Crypto, although can defend against Metal's Navy, well, at least at one point, it looks like that's gone too now. And Crypto is under pressure from both sides, from two different players who don't even know that the other person is attacking at the same time. And Birdie has two different Navy groups over here coming in. We'll have a look at their energy, which they're low, but they're managing it well. As you can see, they're using short commands to just use short bursts of energy. And they took out the energy well there. We've got another group moving in over here to try and protect this energy well. And they're back to attacking Yellow over here. Mostly from the coast, but they do have a good invasion group coming in into the mountain range here, which it's going to be hard to take out the defense here from the waters because it's so close and in the mountains. But when they're dropping them off right at the side, pretty much negates that defensive bonus. We've got some air support coming in, but there's too much air defense in the waters, and even these bombers are struggling to take out anything in the waters. I was going to say in the ground, but boats don't go there. We've got a rocket here as well from Metal, who's probably going to use that on a Navy group, which is a good reason that Birdie is actually keeping his groups like separate. We got one there, group here, groups over here, and another group down here. So if one does get nuked, it's not really a big dent in his army. But it looks like he's going for anything that could be a threat. So he's taken out the Navy pen there, which is pretty much going to stop him getting anything out in the water again. He took out the sub pen that was over here pretty quickly. And Birdie has taken control of this island finally. Crypto has lost this ground. There's no way he can defend from all of these. Not with those bombers, anyway. And something goes down over here. It looks like Birdie took out the town and maybe the docks. I can't remember if he had docks there. And Metal is going to actually end up engaging if they don't turn around, with Birdie helping to defend Crypto at this point, paradoxically. But it looks like Birdie is willing to move on and try and find anyone else in the ocean as he snakes around the coastlines with his forces. And he does get a foothold on Refoh's island and is going to try and apply pressure downward, slowly taking out anything on the island. And this is a bit of a bigger force than he had the first time he was here. And he's going to chase down the submarine with destroyers and the cruiser. And it does go down from the second group that was hiding at the back there. So Birdie's group of units are there. We've got an invasion group coming in for Crypto. Against Crypto from Metal. Trying to bring some units right in the back there, which is exposed. Crypto might not even be able to see this land here. He's got nothing in the ocean or anything in that section. Let's have a look. So, from his perspective, he cannot see anything coming in from that section. You can see this navy moving that way against this. But that's it. And we've got the boat coming in any second, which is just going to drop it off in time before Birdie actually ends up taking out these boats. But he might need to be a bit quick with this one. I don't know if that's actually going to drop off in time. It does not. Just by the skin of their teeth, they stop it. Over here against the energy well, we do have a pretty large fight. Trying to defend against this, this energy well. We've got air units involved, strikers, bombers, and helicopters coming in to defend light blue there. And Metal is on the retreat as these helicopters slowly chase them down. One cruiser left, and a rocket does fly in and does manage to take out half of the Navy group here as he split them off into two, one to chase them down. And the helicopters retreated successfully, but another force is coming through this section to come against blue there. Red does come in to try and finish off this energy well. So both red and dark blue are now working together, kind of. It looks like actually that's been stopped. And light blue is also focused on yellow. Only got a couple of units left in this section, so he's going to have to try and reinforce that area. But has sent some reinforcements into this area, so I don't think he's going to be able to take that on so easily. There's quite a few units here. If they took them off defense and brought them round, it won't take long to defend it. So he's going for yellow. He's trying to defend against blue. And has units taken out eco from blue as well from this section here. And is going to go for this energy well over here, which he thinks there's one there. I would like to see Birdie's energy usage. He's got quite a lot of storage. And to be fair, quite a lot of production at this point too. Could have a look at eco, so we'll have a look at Metal. He's got 700 per minute. Crypto's got 500. Refoh has 460, so he's not far behind Crypto. And Birdie has 2,000. So he's got more eco than the rest of the group combined, so he actually can handle fighting them all at the same time. Got some strikers coming in, trying to take out, do the last bit of damage on that refinery. One goes down before it really does anything, so he recalls the rest. And down in this section, the group of units did survive. I must have been blind earlier, unless a new lot are coming in. It looks like they are actually. Sneaking by these light blue units over here just. And a rocket did try and fire here, but I don't know if it exploded. I think it did with the smoke dotted around like that. But dark blue is probably going to kick out these units, but it looks like reinforcements have just been called in. Yeah, and he's going to separate two groups to either side. He's found the airfield, so I think they might end up targeting that soon. Crypto spotted Metal's units in this area and is going to try and stop those, which he probably will do quite easily. As he tries to reclaim his land up in the north there. I say land, it's sea. Territories up in the north over here. Birdie is preparing for another attack. He's going for an invasion up in the north. As Metal is trying to take control over another island over here, or at least weaken Birdie's foothold there. Yellow has lost this island over here, but has reclaimed the territory up in the north of this section here. Building up another navy force. However, Crypto is down here with a group of commandos with a lot of transport jets. And he's trying to set that up to be quite a good invasion against Yellow by the looks of it. We've got some extra power plants coming in for Birdie, so Birdie's feeling the pressure of the energy on this game. The rocket fires once again. It's going down here. It's taken out one group of units. It might have been better off going for this energy well. I don't know how much difference it would have been, but it would have had to have flown over too, so maybe it would have got shot down. We've got an aircraft carriers coming out over here for metal, and he's gone into a lot of submarine production, which may help him at this point. But the aircraft carriers are probably a bit too late in this to be that useful, especially as Birdie has control of the ocean. Crypto demoing his own production structure there, trying to free up some eco. And Birdie is once again harassing Yellow, making sure they don't build up to be big enough to be a threat to him later. Kind of feels like he's just playing with him, but he kind of does need to manage it. He is against 3 other players who, although are fighting each other, are mostly working against Birdie. As you can see over here, got some attacks coming in from Birdie against Crypto. The Navy is working their magic on Metal over here, but I think Metal's going to fend these guys off, but they do lose another Navy yard, which is unfortunate. Down in this section, the Navy is sweeping around the coast of Birdie once again on an orange command, so as they get near anything that could be of interest to them, they start shooting, as you can see. Which, even if they don't destroy a structure, repairing structures also does cost economy. And there we go, Crypto is on the move. He's got his commandos going in. Might be a little early. I don't know how many commandos he had there. He's got 4 jets moving out, so that's got to be at least 7. I think they can only move, they got 2 in there, so it must be 8. And they're going to try and take advantage of the fighting that's going on over here. And I'm just going to have a look over here. It looks like we've got the bombers moving in against Birdie in this section of the map. And Birdie is moving against Metal up in the north there. We've got the aircraft carriers coming around here, which are going to be tackled by those back force from the Navy there. The commandos are moving on a blue command, so they're not taking anything out, but Yellow has spotted the commandos and they are coming down. Considering Yellow pretty much owns this island only, is being attacked by 2 players via different means, it's defending this area pretty well. They had a really, really bad start to this game, and they still survived an hour into it. The aircraft carriers are trying to escape. One goes down. The destroyers are chasing really fast. And the aircraft carrier can only run for a little bit, but eventually it will go down. Not too much going on the map, except for Yellow, who's being harassed constantly. And some more commandos are coming in now. But we're getting a rocket in play here from Crypto, so Crypto is... his logic is to try and take out a weaker player to strengthen himself against Birdie later. A load of helicopters came in then, and he was prepared this time with a lot of SAM units here, ready to take them on before they can do too much damage. But I don't think Bird has noticed this, as he's focused on quite a lot of the map. We've got a rocket coming in over here, taking out an energy well and any ships that were defending it. Not that it mattered too much, he's got more ships coming in. And these bombers have run out of energy. Crypto has no energy in this at the minute. Yeah, he's struggling there. He's got 3, maybe power plants only. Am I being blind? I can't see where the third one is. Oh, it's got to be over here maybe. Nope. So he's got the 2 here. You can see that. I'm not sure. So either way, he's got the commandos moving in this section. He's set up a defensive perimeter here, right on this small choke point. And I don't know if these commandos are dead or just lying down, but this one here is alive, and they got 2 there. And as more come in, they're going to start filling up this line as well. One player's gone down. Crypto's out. He gave it up. So he decided he either wasn't going to play anymore or that the match wasn't winnable. And considering I considered him the second, well, maybe second or third better player in this at the minute, judging by what it stands as battle-wise, it looks like Birdie is developing a large ground force. So they are planning a lot of invasions, particularly against yellow. But if he does focus on yellow, and blue does go south and expands against Crypto, or his old location, he might be able to do a fairly sizable defense against Birdie, maybe even push him back. But it looks like Birdie is going to find some energy left out in the open by Metal. A rocket's being sent out probably straight to this island over here. It's going to take out a lot of helicopters. Probably not as many as he'd like, but it's still better than nothing. He took out the town as well. The invasion over here is not doing too badly, but they are getting a stream of units coming in, which is going to make it very difficult to progress for these artillery. And especially as they have to progress over the mountains. But that does work in favour for both players, as both units will be moving slowly towards each other. It will be the person with the most artillery, which is definitely Birdie at the minute. And over here we have a dominating force of Navy units clearing out the coast of any structures they find from Metal, taking out even the energy wells that are in the edges, and the Navy Yard here with another aircraft carrier. But a rocket's being produced once again, and that will be good at taking out a group of the Navy once again. We have a lone carrier here with 3 strikers on it, trying to come out and harass yellow for some reason. I think he just wanted to explore the map a little. But either way, these strikers are going to come in now and take on anything they see here, which is only going to help Birdie because he can't take on the ground here. He did take that command off, as he probably could see a bit of what's going on over in this section. And it might be better off if he tries to take on this section and help defend Birdie instead. Not Birdie, defend Refoh over there. But it does look like he's struggling to take out that section, and Birdie is going for Crypto's old section. That aircraft carrier did speed through past a lot of these Navy units, but is under heavy fire and does go down, which means these strikers are also going to go down in enemy territory. So the pilots there are going to have to struggle trying to find their way home. Metal has gone down as well. Who knew that this game would end with Refoh still on this island fighting his way to victory? I did not expect this player to come second in this free-for-all, but the fact that they presented no threat to the enemy kind of made it so that it was easier for Birdie to not worry about too much, and he focused on the other enemies. But anyway, as you can see, Refoh had a decent start here. He's yellow and ended up getting pushed back pretty early on, and then he was just kept at this level and wasn't able to grow. Red and blue started fighting each other at about this point mainly, I think, and they were just balancing each other out, whereas Birdie just literally shot up as he controlled yellow. But anyway, let me know what you thought of that battle. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around in another video.